Hello everyone. It is now Saturday. This race happened on Wednesday. It's my first ever mountain bike race. I've done about 4 or 5 actual mountain bike-esque rides on the new 2019 Giant Anthem Advanced 29.1. The bike is outstanding. I can't wait to do a review. I think I'm going to do a review about 1,000 miles in. I'm about 330 miles in now. Pretty rad. Going through this mud. This course was really awesome. I loved it. It was super exciting. The guy right here on the right, this is the guy you want to look for. His name's Eric. Pretty nice guy. Right here, I started behind a bunch of dudes because I had a guy come up and ask me if my name was something else, because the gentleman who marked me on my leg, my race number, number 8, as opposed to my wave number, wave 14. So there's a little misconfusion. So right when he asked me my name and I said it wasn't my name, they yelled go. So then the guys took off and I had to get around. So that's why the GoPro started late also. So I just moved my way into the front of the race. It only took a couple minutes and I'm in front of the race. And I don't know any better. I'm pretty much full gas. Let's do this. Let's win this bike race. This is one of 3 laps. Each lap is about 11 minutes. So this is the first climb of the race. It's not super big, but it's a nice incline. And I got to pre-ride this course. I did 3 laps beforehand. The first time I tried to just go all out and didn't know what the hell I was doing. The second one, I wanted to make sure I did the right thing and went by the course because I got lost 3 times on the first time. As you see, I'm passing people right now. These are people from the other groups. So there was like all these other waves of people getting to go before me. So we had the experts, we had the 60 plus, we had the single speed expert, the single speed sports, all these different categories. And so they're also in the race, just not in my category. But just made it through some of the bumpy sections, and now we're gonna get into this nice little tight right turn. It's a little muddy, nice little puddle. And then we got this like juniors group right here. So this is the juniors category. So I'm kind of trying to just be safe, and I know that I got a bunch of bumps coming up. I was trying to pass, but didn't really seem like it was an option. This guy started getting a little close. These bumps are pretty intense. I do have suspension, but I'm not used to it. So with the speed, it's still pretty wobbly. I was able to get past one of the guys, and I decided that I was gonna go on the right side. In the past riding, going on the left side, just everybody took the left side, and the right side didn't seem that bad, so I just made my way through, and I was able to pass him. I'm still in the lead. As I said earlier, you need to watch out for Mr. Eric. We don't see him for a little bit. When I first did this race, I was told from somebody unofficially that the sport does 2 laps. And so I thought I was only doing 2 laps. I pre-rode this course 3 laps. It's a pretty good warm-up. Just made my way up that little climb. This is a quick little popper. Making my way onto the back side of the course. Just a couple little inclines. We're gonna come up to a big puddle here. You go to the right side. Anybody watching this video, you guys do any mountain bike racing? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think about mountain bike racing, or how does it compare to road racing or track racing? Just racing in general. Like, what's the stoke level of it? I think it's pretty awesome. This is probably one of the funnest races I've ever done. 37 minutes full worth. So I'm gonna take this left turn and I start to descend. We got some rocks here. It's big rocks. They're loose, big rocks. Got some dips. and then I'm gonna make my way into this muddy, like just speed section. It's not super bumpy, but I mean, as you can see, we're moving around. But it's pretty fast. You just gotta pick your line. And I was trying to pick the best line possible so that I could have momentum to get up this climb. Excuse me. So as you're climbing this, you're going up, but then it turns left and the pitch goes up even a little bit steeper. But I can confidently say that I did really well in the climbs, and I'd say I hit it really hard. Talking with Eric after the race, he confirmed, man, we really hit it hard in the climbs. I don't think there was anybody near us. So this guy, see, these guys are kind of just like, they're having fun. That's great, they're having fun. I'm letting them know I'm on the right and getting by. This next descent here was pretty scary. Not scary, but like for me, I'm not used to descending and having suspension absorb everything. So there's some big dips, and some people were hitting these as doubles right here. I wasn't jumping, you know, I'm trying to get used to my bike still. And I'm just trying to really play it safe. So it goes down into this, up, and if you can descend it at a really nice speed, you can get some momentum to go up the hill. As you'll see in the next lap, I'm not going super fast up the hill because I think I had to slow down, but we'll see when we get there. I am passing a lot of people. Nobody's passing me. I got a lot of crap about racing sport. This is my first mountain bike race. You guys all know I race road. I've done a gravel race or two. Done a couple cyclocross races. I've never ridden a mountain bike in my life. This is about my 4th or 5th ride on a mountain bike ever in 35 years. And I've never raced it. So I'm still getting used to it. Yes, I do have endurance. But obviously I didn't have enough endurance if I wasn't able to win a sport race with my mistakes. Now, there is beginner, there's sport, and there's expert. I am by no means an expert. I do have fitness, but I am no expert. So, take that into consideration. I had a lot of people tell me that someone who does 6-hour endurance rides on their mountain bike definitely shouldn't be racing sport. It's way different than what I'm doing right here. I do get to ride trail, but I'm doing a lot of like road, gravel riding, which I have done in the past, but it's not necessarily 6 hours of mountain bike riding. But enough with that rant. So we're making our way onto the pump track. We're not quite, I would say we're 3/4 of the way done with our lap. Yes, we are still on lap 1. I love that all the junior kids, a lot of them had capes. Really dope. We're making our way out of the backside of the pump track, and we are gonna come out and cross this road. I let this kid know I was on his left, and just kept making my way. Every person's like a carrot. You just keep going until you get them, and then you go to the next one. I really like this back section here because it was kind of just like a all out, you can just kind of let it loose, let all your power out. Single track, gets into the single track here. Got a couple dudes. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't too fond of passing on the single track. I was also trying to save energy and not blow up. But these guys were moving at a decent pace and there wasn't really much passing going on. So I waited until my opportune moment and tried to make some passes. So I thought the right side would be good. Didn't really happen. But as I raced this and I did a couple of laps, I got a little more comfortable and I decided to go for it. Passed them. I knew this right turn up here was coming up. Taking it on the grass right here was the best idea, and then just standing up and coming out as I am. I'm sprinting out of it to try to accelerate faster to take off. It's like the Prairie of mountain bike racing right here. We got the cobbles, more cobbles, and making my way to the next person. This little section was tricky here. There's a little bit of water, and then there's some rocks. I passed this dude on the left, and then I didn't cut him off, but I mean, I played it tight. This little section right here, the back wheel would get slippery because there was a couple of rocks sticking out. Up and over these two little humps here. And then we got a couple of juniors and just getting through. I wasn't sure if I should pass them, but I decided just to go for it and get up over the hill before they did. Again, I haven't looked back at all. I don't know how many people are behind me, where I'm at. All I know is I'm in first place. So we're coming to the end of lap number 1, and it's about 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I think the fastest lap of the day was 10:11, so not too bad. But here I come. Lap number 1 is done, and I'm just like TTing through this. I just have my hands on the bars, full TT mode. And I'm kind of like chilling because I know that I'm getting ready to go down another grueling technical section. Again, this race isn't necessarily technical, but for me, it's a lot for the upper body. I don't get to do a lot of this. So I'm not fully used to it, but I'm excited to get out and get more practice. Once I get back from Boston, I'm going to be bringing up the exercise from 10 hours a week, which I've been doing, to 15 to 20 hours a week, hopefully consistently. I hope to do that consistently in about a 3-week period. But we're down on the descent. I'm all alone still. These muddy sections were kind of weird. I let a little bit of PSI out. I'm running a 30 PSI on the tires. And my bike handled a lot better. With the suspension, not being used to suspension, on the next lap, after, like at the end of this lap, I thought that I had a flat tire when I was hitting bumps because of the suspension. And, you know, I'm just not familiar with riding my bike a whole lot yet. But we'll get there. Coming through this next group of people, this is probably the Masters races. We had like 60-year-old plus Master races. So I was in the sport 19 to 39-year-old age group. My racing year is 35. So I'm out here racing with 19-year-olds to 39-year-olds. It was awesome. It was fun. And we're moving quite quickly here. Taking this right turn. And we're going to hit that first climb. First climb. I'm thankful that I was able to keep a great high cadence on a lot of these climbs. These people look like they're moving pretty nicely. I am still in first place, have not gotten past yet. And I'm coming up to a group of women here. This girl's awesome. I can't remember her name, but I've seen her at some cyclocross races. She's pretty rad. Really nice. Alright, so right here, there is this little bump. I try to jump every time, besides once. It's kind of fun. Jumping on the mountain bike's really fun. It reminds me of riding a BMX as a kid. Always taking this left turn in the grass and getting ready for this quick single track here. It's nice and quick, and it's pretty smooth. It's not too sketchy. But see, there's nobody here right now, no juniors, and I'm going through on my own. This was really cool on this lap because I was able to kind of just focus on my skills and make my way. This turn, I always thought I was going to slip out, but I got comfortable with it as I rode it more. But this right here, I always brake before I hit it and try not to go through too fast, but would always hit this and try to hop the back wheel over this one and then right turn into the slalom. So there's a dude up in front of me, but man, I'm moving this time. I'm flying, no juniors in the way. Moving. I need to get a new GoPro mount, maybe for the helmet or something, so it's not so like bumpy on the bike. Right turn on the grass. And I'm coming up to another couple of people. I'm gonna just pass them on the right side. The right side just seemed to be the right way to pass everybody in this race. This section was really bumpy and it was just like all over the place. With these guys, I think I decided to go onto the left side and pass. Actually, I go on the right. I'll be damned. But yeah, they're grinding it out, and I'm just trying to keep a high cadence and make my way over the bumps with little effort, trying to save the upper body for the descents. Look, this guy's got a fat bike. Those tires are huge. That bike's probably 50 pounds. But he's doing it. He's out having a good time. So we're making our way on the next backside here. We got some people who are just kind of casually riding, so I decided to go in between because I wasn't sure where they were riding. They didn't have a direct path. Right side of the puddle, as always. Got another group of peeps coming up here. Everybody at these races were awesome. They have super good attitude. They're cheering everybody on. It's always a good time. It reminds me of cyclocross. Making my way through the crowd. I got a girl here. Look at this track. It's pretty dope. High vis, orange. Trying to get past as many people as I possibly can so that I can hit this descent without anybody in front of me. I'm still not comfortable descending solo, so doing it with people around me, it's kind of hard to predict what they're gonna do. But back into the bumpy descent. Bumpy and muddy. The muddy descent. Mud flying everywhere. I'm still wondering who's behind me. Is there anybody behind me? Am I just gonna solo to victory? Not quite sure. But as we get to this climb, we got a Folsom bike dude here. Decided to go on the right-hand side. These guys are all racing here. I decided to go on the right side and pass everybody. You know, they're not in my race, so it doesn't matter if I pass them, but I mean, I need to keep my pace going. I don't know who's behind me. I'm trying to do what I can. Back into the bumpy descent. Super bumpy. This one just totally... Here goes Eric. There goes Eric. So super bumpy. Eric hit it super hard. See how he had so much momentum? He was able to just cut through and pass everybody, and he made the move on me. I wasn't expecting that. I knew that he was there, but man, I thought I was flying down it. This guy just totally probably went like full brake, unbrake, like brakeless all the way down. And he's gone now. Now this girl's going. She's got her good pace going. I didn't have good momentum, so I was like hitting it hard up that climb. And all I'm trying to do is stay in touch with Eric. So you can see him up there a little bit still. He's definitely trying to get away. And I'm making my way. I got people in my way. I got obstacles. Look at the tandem there. That was awesome. This guy's playing. Trying to catch Eric. So in my head, I'm like, this is lap 2. This is it. I got to catch this guy by the finish. Because we're only doing 2 laps because we're sport. We're not expert. So then I got this girl here and I'm like, man, what am I going to do? I'm trying not to be mean. I'm, let them know that you're on your side, but it's like a single track. So I decided to go on the left-hand side and I just hit it on the rocks and in the grass. Went off the course a little bit. Technically it's not going off the course, but I was trying to stay on the best line possible. And so he got a little bit of a gap on me. So we're coming back towards the pump track. And it is just flooded with people here. You can see Eric though. He just went to the right turn. And I go around these dudes on the inside. And take the inside of this guy. A lot of these people ride with others, so they're used to people like riding close and tight, but I've never done it, so like all I could do is let them know like on your left, so then they know I'm there, so then they're not like startled. I went around this turn kind of wide, almost hit that tree, but Eric's right here. I'm catching him. So he's really great at descending and he's super strong, but like I just found myself closing in on the straightaways and the climbs. Again, I feel like I do have a really good fitness. I just don't have a lot of experience with descending. So he's got a dude in between us. And so I know that this whole section is pretty tight. And I'm not sure what I can do to close the gap before the end of the race. Well, at least I think it's the end of the race. So I'm just patient, And then I just choose to go on the right. I was like, you know what, go for it. There's a huge gap, go for it. Don't let this guy get any further away than he already is, because it's gonna be harder to make it up in that last section. So I passed the girl. As I was passing, one of the photographer ladies was telling the girl to hold her line. And I sped up, took this turn a little faster than I normally would, and it was a little bumpy, and decided just to hammer it, because he's right there. I really wanted to win this race, and now I have the advantage because I'm behind him, and if I can kind of sneak up, maybe I can come around him at the end. That's all I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, man, like, you're this close to winning this race. So we're going through this little muddy section. It's not too bad. It just wasn't like the smoothest section. So going over the humps here, I got one more hump. There's another racer. It's really weird racing around people that are going a lot slower because you don't know what they're really gonna do. But so now he's got a wide open gap. I decided to just pass these guys and just hammer it to this guy. And all I could think is I'm like a minute away from the finish line and I wanna win this race. So I'm hammering it right now. He's like pedaling. It looks like he's going fast. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna come around him at the corner. So we pass this kid, and here we come to the finish line, and he's pedaling his heart out, and I just freaking sprint on. He looks down, and I just pass him. And I'm going through, and I'm like, oh, dude, I just won the race. And little did I know, nobody stopped. Nobody said, hey, that's the final lap. I couldn't see any laps, so I decided to keep going. I was like, oh, I'll just keep riding. So, turns out, Sport does 3 laps, not 2 laps, which is totally fine. It's understandable. But I just felt like I didn't know anything. I probably should have done a little more research. Or listened better before the race. But, so I'm taking this descent, and I think he passes me right here. Yeah, here he comes. He's just sitting down, like chilling on his seat, riding. And as I'm taking this turn here, it just felt like my back tire was flat. And I got kind of nervous and scared, so I was like, what the hell is going on? And I looked down, I was like, my tire's not flat. So I just kept going. So he gets a little bit of a gap here, and I'm trying to just stay with him because I know that this is the only guy in my race right now. The other 20 plus guys that were in my race, they're not near us, or they might be, but this is the only guy that I've seen. And so I'm trying to stay with him. I really want to win. It'd be really cool to win my first mountain bike race, but I'm living in the moment, and I'm hurting. Got a really high heart rate. I got a new max heart rate that I've noticed since I've been in my 30s. I have 189 beats per minute, and I averaged 171 beats per minute for 37 and a half minutes. Like, I'm pretty good with averaging 160, 170 beats for an hour or so, but that's a lot. I haven't raced since Halloween, so I was feeling it. The 6-hour rides I do, I don't average 170 heart rate. I average like 130. But he's still there. So this guy's tired too, obviously. I don't think he's raced much mountain bike, but he does race cyclocross, from what I hear. And so he's got a little bit of a gap now. I'm feeling it. And I'm still kind of just confused because I thought we were doing 2 laps. But I'm just pushing on. But I'm starting to really feel it on lap 3 because I went hard on the second lap to try and get the win. I figured with all the mud that I could probably wipe off the GoPro screen because it probably wasn't able to see anything, but it wasn't too bad now, was it? So now Eric's up there. He's got a good gap on me. And I pretty much just feel like he's gone now. He passed all these gals here. I decided to just not jump this and go over it this time. And then I was like, all right, I need to get past these people. So I get stuck behind this dude. And I just don't feel like this is a spot to really pass somebody. We have wide bars. And yeah, I chose not to. So, I mean, those little things, you know. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and pass this dude on the inside when we go around this turn, because that's my spot. So I let him know, hey, on your inside. The guy was really nice. He actually apologized. And I said, hey, don't worry about it, man, have fun, as I was racing by. And then he was like, oh, cool, thanks, you too. It was awesome. You can change somebody's perspective in 10 seconds by just approaching it a different way. You know, you don't have to be a dick because you're trying to win a race. You don't want to, you know, it's not worth the cost of your, you know, respect. But so solo on this section again, made it through nice and smooth. I don't see Eric, but coming into this section nice and smooth. On the right side, I just found that this right side here was way better for me to make it through. Everybody's taking the left. I felt the right was like good. It was smooth. This girl over here, she had like fell over, got a flat. I asked her if she was okay. She said yes, thanks for asking. GoPro sound sucks, you can't really hear it. But as I get up to this climb, I'm just like, man, there's so many dudes. So I just decided to go on the grass. Because Eric's already got a nice enough lead on me. I was like, man, I need to pick it up. But I don't know how much more I can pick it up. So I was going for it. I knew that this was the last lap. I knew we weren't doing 4 laps. This was really cool because this dad was like coaching his son, or he was like a coach, but he was like a mentor, well, regardless. So he was like telling him how to like climb the hill as I was riding by. I thought it was really cool. You actually like experience a lot of things when you're racing like that. It's crazy compared to like a road race or something like that, because it's like there's all these different groups and you're listening to people give advice and you're like, whoa, or you know, like you just listen to these people having like super fun. So right here, I wanted to go on the right, the dude was hurting, so I decided to go through the puddle. The puddle was as deep as my hubs, so I had to put my foot down. And I did use the F word because I was really pissed, because that might have cost me the race. Yes, you can't really see Eric, but now it's looks like he's got it in the bag. So I put my foot down, I got back on my bike, and I start passing these dudes. This guy's hurting. I pass him, and I'm making my way up the hill so I can try to get past these dudes so I can start the descent, the rocky descent. And these guys are like, yeah, dude, you got it. Keep going, you're not that far away. So I'm just thinking like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna do this. So back into the descent and through all of the mud. Such a fun race. This is real speed. This is not sped up, by the way. We were moving. It wasn't like super fast, but with all the bumps, it's pretty fast. All right, starting up the uphill. Decided just, you know, on your left, real quick. Really trying to take it to town up the hills. That was my advantage, is I can climb. I'm getting so much better at climbing. My endurance, my cardio is good. I can't wait till I get to train even more, and it'll just skyrocket from there. So, really easy gear, just spinning over all of this. Not too easy, but easy enough to kind of just like float over it. I am really tired at this point. This is officially my 6th lap of the day, just because I pre-rode too. But look at this guy's bike though, it's a Yeti, it's pretty nice. Decided to get around him. I think he just wanted me to get by him so I can go down on my own. He's probably just chilling, he knows that we're racing. So Eric's, I think, up there in the distance. I'm really excited actually to see if this is the same course on Wednesday. I have the day off on Wednesday, so I'm gonna get to go and race this race again before I leave for Boston. So it would be really cool to win and step on the top step of the podium on Wednesday. So I'm pretty much just recovering until then because I feel like crap, I'm so tired. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys so you guys can see my first mountain bike race. All right, so back on the back side of the single track, up the climb, and this is really cool. I'm gonna go on the right hand side, and I got a Michael David teammate here, just crushing it. And I'm just trying to now make my way to the pump track and see if I can see Eric anywhere. So as I'm getting up to the left turn to go up, there's just a line of dudes. This is a wrong place to get cluttered. But it's not too bad. Everybody's in a single file, and I decide to go on the right side and pass these dudes. So I got the guy, I got the girl, coming up on the little dudes. Look at these little dudes racing this cross country, so dope. This kid's probably like 11, maybe 8, and he's racing around the course. It's so cool. These guys, they're riding. That guy's got freaking Envies on like a Santa Cruz, just like kitted out bikes. There were some buku bikes out there. I, however, love my bike. I think it's freaking awesome. But there was some eye candy out there for sure for the average consumer. So we got this little group of the Groms here in the turn. I decided to try to go on the right, and it was a little tight, so I hit my brake a little. You probably can't hear it, but I made it through safely. And we're gonna make this cross of the road one last time into the power section. And I decided just to hit it as hard as I could and power through this because, you know, even though I couldn't see Eric, I was still trying. I wasn't giving up, you know. And I knew that, like, just like Eric passed me on the second lap, that somebody else could pass me and I could get third, but I was pretty sure that I was in second place. So these guys are moving through this really well. And I was gonna try and go on the left-hand side for once instead of the right, and the guy cut over, which is totally fine. And we're coming up to the right turn for the cobbles. And he looks back, obviously he knows I'm there, so I decided to just go for it. And bam, now I get my jam. So, we're coming up to the end of the race. I did not catch Eric. He did win the race. That's okay. I lost by 34 seconds. That's how far behind I was first place. Third place was 4 minutes behind us. So the competition was myself and Eric first place, and fourth place was 5 minutes behind. So guys did a great job still. I look forward to this Wednesday. I would love to be on the top step of the podium, and I hope that I can take you guys along with me for the race. But coming up on that last stretch, trying to get past anybody I can. I don't know if I actually passed anybody up before this hump. It's a little cluttered. But as you can see, everybody's getting tired. It's a fun race. And yeah, it was really great. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Super long, not my favorite. I love living it, but I don't like watching it. It's boring to me, but I know a lot of you like the cyclocross breakdowns. There's no power, no heart rate, but you guys can see my heart rate and my speed and all that on Strava. So thanks again for watching, and have a great night. Second place. Yeah, second.
Top of the podium, Eric Williams. Eric. There's Eric. Eric's thinking about growing a beard, I think.
That was epic. Good job, man. Way to put up a fight.
There they are. Shawn and Eric. Sport 1979.